Omnath deck. I'm going to be excited to see how that's going to work out. Chat, we'll solve this riddle as we go along here with Mason and Ryan, trying to see which kind of combo he will be able to pull off. But Will, from what I've seen, you've actually worked out all of the combos, right? Do you feel competent in tackling them?
So I'm a lot better with creature combo decks than I am spell combo decks, and this is one of the creature combo decks that really fell off the radar after Modern Horizons 2 was printed in Ragavan, because it used to just be if you could gain infinite life, you basically win the game. But then when Ragavan got printed, and if that can connect, it can obviously play the spells off your opponent's deck. So then it turned into, oh, actually, you can also potentially gain infinite life. So it's not just a scoop them up and win. This Selesnya deck, we got multiple different combos in here. We know what Heliod can do. It's the god from Theros that enables life gain, and once that happens, you get +1/+1 counters. So it goes really, really well when you've got Spikefield Feeder in your deck, which has got 2 counters on it. Sacrifice 1, gain 2 life. That's the infinite life combo. Another infinite life combo is when you're going to have Prosperous Innkeeper in play. That's the 2 mana one that when a creature enters the battlefield, you gain life, and it makes a treasure token alongside the Scurry Oak. Of course, modern staple. You all know what that one does by now. Scurry Oak is the 3 mana 1/2 with evolve. Don't worry about that part. It's more got the text. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Scurry Oak, you may create a 1/1 squirrel creature token. So if you've got Heliod on the battlefield, plus the Innkeeper, and then play the Oak, you can continuously put +1/+1 counters on the Oak, which continuously makes the squirrels, which means you infinitely gain life. So now you've got infinite creatures, infinite life. But wait, it doesn't just go there. We've also got Walking Blisters in this deck, and if we can get a Heliod on the battlefield plus a Walking Blister with 2 counters and give it lifelink, that is infinite damage as well. So many combos here for Mason. Is he going to be able to pull it off? We're going to find out as this game progresses. The crazy thing I always thought about this deck is it can just win from a collective company hitting the right 2 cards. If it hits Heliod plus Spike Feeder, you just gain infinite life at instant speed, which is enough to win you many games of Magic the Gathering. And now that Heliod has resolved and on the battlefield, this is where things get scary for Ryan on the left of your screen.
I love how Ryan actually took a quick glimpse into the camera as he said it's going to get scary for him. He was like, I know.
Well,
this is already infinite life, right?
If it resolves, or there might be a Leyline Binding coming down on the Heliod before it resolves, there could be a Solitude coming down. Would Solitude do anything? No, Solitude wouldn't do anything. But it could be Camage. But I'm smelling a Leyline Binding.
I'm wondering for like one moment here, as it looks like, there's going to be the Leyline Binding, which is going to stop a lot of combo potential for Mason. Right now, he's just got the Spike Feeder, which, by the way, also is like one of those Magic staples. I feel like ever since Exodus came out, you see the cards like making its appearance in different formats at times, again and again and again. It just can't die. Like, you got all the power creep in the world, Spike Feeder still there sometimes. Not so much for Spike Weaver, which I like very much, but what can you do?
It's a cool card. Like I like it. Again, it's that like sort of kind of flashback. It looks a little bit like a sliver to me, if you ask me, but it is not. One thing there on the timing of this Leyline's Binding, key that we do it before the feeder resolves, otherwise there's no real other good time to do it after that, unless Mason went for the infinite life straight away. So head up play there by Ryan, getting it off the battlefield. But what's going to be the follow up for Mason as Ryan misses that third land and the 4th land drop?
You think Mason would have actually gone for the infinite life combo straight away? And as you mentioned, right, Ryan could then respond. Yeah,
there's no need to, right? There's no need to do it.
I would have fallen for that maybe. Well, you fall for it once and then you're aware of it. I guess that's how it works out. Yeah. Okay, we got Ranger Captain of Eos, which is it's an invitational card of, I want to say, all Antoine Ruel, pretty sure.
Is it?
It's an invitational card. No, it's not Ranger Captain of Eos. It's there's the other one for 4 mana that fetches you like 2 creatures with mana cost 1 or less.
Oh yeah, you're thinking that one. Yeah, I say I'm sure. I don't think this one's invitational card, but this one's
that one's surely not.
This one's got the awesome bit of text that we see here. Sacrifice it. Your opponent can't cast non-creature spells for the rest of the turn. So in response to Leyline's Binding, they're going to sacrifice it, kind of shore them up a little bit for any spells. But more importantly, the 4th land drop hit for Ryan here.
I think I was thinking about Ranger of Eos, not Ranger Captain of Eos. Close enough. Yeah, we just got the 4-color Omnath doing what 4-color Omnath does, taking out a bunch of the early threats, and now deploying its own Planeswalker. Mason.
Value, by the way, value. Bounce back my Leyline's Binding to my hand, still have Leyline's Binding mana up. Oh, the value.
It's perfect, right?
And you get to draw a card after all that as well. Mason really needing to hit that 4th land drop and try and maybe cast some Collected Companies to get back into this matchup, but stumbling on mana, bottlenecking to 1 spell at a turn, knowing that there's a Leyline's Binding in hand. It's going to be pretty rough.
Yeah, that's the thing about these creature combo decks, right? You can sometimes like scramble together like a win out of nowhere, but if your synergies don't go your way, all of a sudden you're sitting there with, well, Spike Feeder in 2024, which tries to take out the Fairy here. Yeah, but we already know about that one. Yeah, so Leyline Binding is going to take out the Spike Feeder here, most likely.
We're just going to gain 4 life, I imagine.
Easy.
Yeah, gain 4 life. There is I'm having a look at the main deck. There is a Haywire Might in the main, and Haywire Might plus Soul Cauldron, Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Can we? Oh yeah, I was like, we can't deploy that. We don't have 2 planes, but of course these lands look like different colors sometimes. So we do have the double planes into the halfling.
So now we got the Auric Champion out there. Protection from black, protection from red. Probably not the kind of protections you want in this matchup, I would think, right? But we get the Supreme Verdict taking out both creatures. Was that a little bit preemptive, or how do you feel about that?
I like the thing is the shields are a little bit down to a 4th land plus Collective Company, or Coco as we like to call it in short. The only thing we'd have to play around is force negations. I'm looking at the list here, though, in the board, so they're not going to be here game 1. But Mason doesn't know that. Again, just missing this land drop. I'd love to just be able to get a good look at the hand and see how explosive can it be if we do hit that extra land drop. And there's the Haywire Might. Okay, I might have played that a little different. I might have gone Haywire Might and blow up the Haywire Might straight away.
To get your Heliod back? Yeah, because now the Haywire Might is exposed, right?
Yeah, Heliod is a key card in this matchup, and I want Haywire Might in my graveyard for Agatha's Soul Cauldrons moving forward. If there's an answer for this now, one of our best sort of sequences is going to be 4, and there it is. That's going to be a Prismatic Ending, end of turn, sorcery speed, but played at instant speed because of that Teferi tick up.
We got a Solitude in hand for Ryan. Teferi ticking up again. Probably just passing. No. Omnath. Oh, okay. Sweet. Getting that 1 life after that. Not missing out on that one.
Another fetch line drawn. This is the situation I hate being in Magic in general. Watching my opponent take multiple game actions and knowing that I'm so far behind, the chances of me winning are really slim. But it's going to take them so long to win the game. Ryan's deck is not designed to win quickly. It's designed to control the board state and then eventually go over the top with a huge amount of cards. As we see, so many 2-for-1s have already happened. And on the board currently, we've got an Omnath, now a fetch line coming down, 4 life gained, 4 mana added to the pool. We know about that Solitude that can basically just be hard cast at this point if we want to. Surveil lands coming into place and more. It's just everything Mason doesn't want to see happening on the other side of the battlefield.
I like Ryan's speed of play, by the way. I think he seems to be very well aware of, like, if you're playing a deck like this and your opponent's definitely going to make you play it out here, because as you mentioned, right, Mason technically still has a chance. Like you can still like take the game from here if things go your way, even though you're behind. So Ryan will know he's gonna play fast, especially if he ends up winning losing the first game for some reason. And I just like it when players are very much aware of that from the beginning. It looks like there might have been some kind of judge call on the next table. This side, Mason hitting his 4th land drop. Is there anything to be deployed? No, cracking it though.
Let's go. Collective Company, Heliod, Spikefield Hazard. Let's go.
You know what we would call that? The cocoa nuts.
The cocoa. It hurts my brain.
Let's go. I want to see them.
I think the
coconuts emojis in chat.
The speed that we're moving here, I think we are going to see a cocoa. What's the best? I think it is a Spike Feeder plus Heliod might be the best lines.
Is there any way that Ryan could still like deck Raisin?
Ooh, the One Ring's all right though. It's not a bad card. So what we're gonna be able to draw more cards. We're playing around Leyline's Binding, but then there's a Teferi on the other side, so it can just bounce it back.
Not so much anymore. Just going down to 2.
Remember, the champion's got protection from red and black, which means that the Omnath cannot block it there. So that's why we don't see a block from the powerful 4/4.
Passing back to Ryan. Mason sitting behind that protection from the ring, not worth all that much right now, I would guess. Checking up. Oh, we get a big dice. Loving it. Picking up Teferi, then playing the next Teferi, probably to bounce the ring and have counterspell. Oh, bounce. No. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Value.
Yeah. Here we go.
We've still got a land drop. We've still got the Omnath, which remember is going to generate more mana if we decide to crack the fetch, like we see here. So 4 life gained, 4 mana added to the pool. And when you've got Leyline's Binding in hand, plus the 1 ring that was drawn for the turn, I'd like to say that if I had an advantage bar, it'd be heavily to the left of your screen here. It's going to take a lot for Mason to be able to pull this game out and turn it into a W.
Turns out the 1 ring, everybody was deceived. There's actually 2 1 rings. That's going to be like Lord of the Rings Part 4, when it turns out that, I don't know, Bilbo has like a second 1 ring, like in this game.
Didn't I see the other day that they're actually making, they're going to make another Lord of the Rings spin-off film of some description?
Really?
With Peter Jackson? Yeah, it was all over.
Peter Jackson?
Yeah, he's going to direct one.
Whoa, like a prequel or something? I mean, there's so much story to still be adapted, right?
I think it's just one of those things that hypes him, but I think it's something to do with Gollum, and I don't know exactly. I don't think anybody knows exactly what's happening with it, but we do know that there is at least 1 ring on the battlefield now, of course, as the Leyline Bind deals with the one that Mason was in control of.
It's going to be like the Star Wars Christmas special. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I know what you're talking about. But more importantly, Collective Company on the stack. Are we going to hit? There's Spike Field. Oh, a double Spike Field?
We got the Innkeeper. What is that? Oh, that's Heliod. Is it?
Okay. How does this work? What's the timing? What's the timing that we need to do here?
Well, you can go for it right away, but if Ryan has a removal spell, but like there's no point in passing back, right? Well, in passing to Ryan.
There's a Solitude in hand.
The coconuts.
The creature ending the battlefield means life is going to be gained. What are we lightning bolting? This with the trigger on the stack. So we're going to gain 2 life in response. In response to this, we Solitude it, I think.
So what exactly is at the bottom of the stack right now? Is it the life gain?
So the +1/+1 counter from the original life gain of both creatures entering the battlefield.
Oh, okay. So, that's why Ryan needed another removal spell.
Yeah, so the counters are currently pointing at the feeder to go to 2. And did we just mess up the sequencing there? Surely the Solitude gets it off while it's at 1. Am I missing something? Maybe we let the first +1/+1 counter resolve.
Oh, that would be a big mistake, right?
Did Mason just pull that out the bag?
I told you, dude. The Legend of the Coconuts. We got them. Just out of nowhere. Like 5 minutes ago, we were talking about how Mason should hang in there.
The Solitude ETB triggers the life gain, which puts the extra counter on it. Oh my!
Whoa!
I don't even know what to say.
I was gonna say, like, what are you even supposed to say to that, dude? That's you even called it, right? Like, as we were talking about this in the pre-match thing, you told me, the beauty of this is sometimes you just run out the Collector Company and you win on the spot. And you even called it during the match, right? This is a potential out. This is something that could happen. Those are like 4 offs in the deck, and we got there out of nowhere, literally in so far behind. Ryan was even sitting on 2 removal spells. You would think you could break up the combo with 2 removal spells, but the Auriok champion, they're giving you that additional point of life gain.
That is crazy.
You can't even script that.
That was so cool to see. And obviously, remembering your triggers is key. Remembering that the stack and how it lined up there for both players. So really, well played there by Mason, being able to actually work out that line, not miss any triggers, and make sure the sequence didn't happen to be able to put away with that game. I would have probably put them on like less than 1% to run away with that game. But Collective Company, we said it, as you spoke about, it can just win the game on the spot, and it did. But now we go to sideboarding. What do we like bringing in here on Mason's side? Full color Omnath deck. Everyone kind of knows what it does at this point. I'm looking at an Elish Norn in that sideboard. That looks great. Stopping all the ETB effects, the leyline bindings, stopping the solitudes coming in and their effects. It can get bounced with Teferi though, so and can obviously be countered coming down. But I like that one coming in.
I guess it also stops the protection from the Wandering, right?
I'm gonna say yes. I think it does, but chat's definitely gonna tell us if that doesn't.
Chat. There's going to be a movie about those.
I do like the Skyclave apparitions as well, because that can take out a Teferi or the One Ring on the opposite side of the battlefield. Nice little answer for it. If there's anything we're majorly scared of, we could bring in this Brainstones, but I don't think this is the matchup for it. But it could be proved wrong on that one. Other than that, we saw the One Rings on the other side and Leyline Bindings. We might want the Pick Your Poisons over the Force of Vigors, because Pick Your Poison, of course, can hit both, where Force can only hit one. So it's going to be interesting how many cards we bring in, because we don't want to dilute the main game plan of our deck. If we start bringing out some of these combo pieces, the less chance of us being able to combo. But quickly, as we see the players shuffling out, let's just go across to the other deck list quickly if we can. Just have a little glimpse of if there's anything good in the sideboard to bring in here. Mainly for me, looking at that Piffin Needle and Surgical Extractions. They look pretty good in this matchup. Other than that, you could bring in the forces if you want a couple extra threats to deal with. The collective companies, but more of it like Besage, Force of Vigors. These don't deal with Heliod, because it does have indestructible. So yeah, I think I'll just try and bring in some of the anti combo pieces. Piffy Needle is going to be huge if we can find that. Surgicals, if we can somehow counter like a Heliod and surgical it out the graveyard, or even collector company Spikefield Hazards, because we saw that Mason was valuing putting things in his graveyard over letting the bindings resolve and trigger them. So maybe that is a niche route to go through. I'm still blown away that game won, to be honest with you.
Also, that puts the fear in you, right? If you're Ryan and you see what just happened, you feel like, dude, is this gonna be like my fate once all over again? Like, do I need like triple protection to ever feel safe? For Mason was just like another Tuesday. Like, yeah, I do that all the time, easy. Like,
so, like, so I'm trying to work it out. Is there a perfect time that we could have solitude? Chat's pointing out if we solitude in response to the Coco, that means that we would take out the champion. But then we've only got a lightning bolt. I don't think that's enough to do it, right?
I mean, in response to the solitude, what exactly to take out champion? Huh? No, but then we only. Yeah, I guess that works, right? Because then Mason goes for it, and then we hit the spike feeder.
Well, because the +1/+1 counter's got to. Oh no, because the +1 doesn't hit, so they go for it. Yeah, okay. There's a way that sequence could have worked out if Mason went for it, and then if Ryan had there's a lot of ifs going on there. So there's a weird chance that some sequence could have worked out slightly better for Ryan, and we could still be playing that game one. But that's not the case. We're moving to game two after sideboarding, closed deck list. Mason on the play, and looks like a mulligan to 6.
Not exactly where you want to be, but still very playable. Passing the turn here, as Mason also gets the Temple Garden down, and Ryan probably fetching a Tri-Home at the end of turn here. Whom do you like in the post-board games? Is there anybody who gets like a lot better? I didn't really see anything out of Omnath that makes me want to go like, oh yeah, now we can hang.
I would say Ryan. If Ryan can get to the later stages, I think he can pull it out of the bag. But after that game one, I feel like I can't rule out Mason. Like that was just the perfect sequence of cards in the right order that worked. It's got Soul Cauldron, it's got the One Ring, we've got Coco. So so much that Ryan has to kind of play around here moving forward. And he's only got 4 count spells in the deck. So like, which once you've gone through 4 of these, there's at least another 8 cards moving forward. Plus, if we put things in the graveyard, that's where the Soul Cauldrons are going to come in. We've got the One Rings to turn and burn through our deck. It's I think I'm leaning towards Mason. I'm going to go Mason. I think Mason.
Yeah, you're going to go Mason?
More because I'm just impressed. I'm just impressed. It's so good.
For me, it's always like I'm very much like you, like a creature combo deck guy, right? So when I say a creature combo deck, I want it to work out really well. On the other hand, though, I feel like these 4-color Omnath decks, they have broken my heart so many times, and I feel like they're so good that I almost feel like I gotta assume they're gonna take it even if they're down, but we will see. We will see. Another banned legacy card coming down here. I know why I love commentating these modern things. Like you get to see all the broken stuff that we are not allowed to do anymore in the supposedly more powerful format. Yeah, I don't know about that at this point. Roland 6 coming down, ticking. Which way did it go? Ticked up, I believe.
Yeah, ticking up. Well, which game lands? 2 mana planeswalkers that you can't lightning bolt straight away. Yeah, they're pretty good. How about a second planeswalker with Teferi coming down, but being used straight away?
Mason just sitting there. Yeah, just wait until I get my innkeeper. Then I got you right where I want to.
Yeah. It's just a little bit of mana denial, right? We bounce back the Utopia Sprawl, which gets us another card deeper. Stops Mason being able to Collective Company this turn because we won't have access to the 4th mana that is needed. So we're just fetching, going to get another shock. Our life total, again, not super relevant in this matchup. And, unless it's infinite. I guess that's the way it becomes actually relevant in this matchup when Mason says the word, I would like to infinitely gain life. 1 mana. Repeat of last time. Sprawl going to generate, I guess, white mana is what it's being named as. Do we have anything on free? Heliod would be great. There it is.
Yeah. Got it. Slowly trying to build up that thing. Ryan technically tapped out right now. I don't think he will pass the next turn being tapped out with Mason ready to combo.
Well, what are we looking for? That's the problem. Now the 4 mana is on the other side. Collective Companies a draw. Soul Cauldrons are great. Any other part of any of the combos that Heliod combos with are great. And yeah, just passing the turn up here for Ryan, making Mason think. And meanwhile, all this is happening, that Red and 6 is ticking up every turn. And if we are able to ultimate that, that's going to give a flashback to all our sorceries and instances, which means our lightning bolts, our prismatic endings, all our supreme verdicts, even the counter magic is going to all be able to have flashback, which could just completely change the game moving forward.
Dude, I don't want to say that Mason is fighting an uphill battle, but he very much is right now, right? I'm not exactly sure what the entirety of Ryan's hand is at this point, but just like seeing sit there on, well, okay, see,
counter spell check.
I can't imagine this ever resolving. This must be the first counter spell check of many to come, hopefully for Mason if he wants to win this game.
Isn't it crazy that there's still just a 1-2 and potentially you just win the game? Like still in like it's awesome. Okay, Leyline's Binding I can see pulled to the front of the hand. So maybe we're just going to see Leyline's Binding in response to this Heliod. Specific iteration at instant speed. Okay.
Maybe we're getting somewhere here. It's kind of cool, right? That you get to do that at instant speed. It feels so filthy, not gonna lie.
Card to hand, card to bottom, land to exile. Can't play that because obviously we're still in Mason's turn. Are the words this resolves coming out of Ryan's mouth? Not yet. Leyline's Binding. We could be in the same situation as last time. We could see a Heliod feeder off the top from this Collective Company. Let's have a little look. That's a Heliod.
Step 1.
Pick your poison. That's a feeder. Okay. Now Solitude Lightning Bolt checks coming in.
This time no Auric champion. Ryan nodding his head, but immediately looking at the cards in his hand. I mean,
that's a good shout. Sorry, chat's pointing out that Leyline Binding does cost 2. There is no black mana on the side for Ryan. So maybe we can get a word down to the table with our producer.
Whoa!
It's just enough. It's just enough. Infinite damage from Spike Feeder again is going to be infinite life, which Ryan cannot deal with, is not equipped with in the deck. And that is going to be Mason taking it down off Collective Company twice moving forward.
Dude, I can't, like, this deck really, I want to get really badly into this. But let me fix something. Maybe you can take it one moment from here.
Yeah, I got you. So obviously we're seeing what kind of some of the cards coming out here. We see the Pick Poisons. Makes sense. Leyline's Bindings on the other side, plus the 1 rings. All the cards I said came in. That's great. That makes me feel great moving forward. So I believe we will end up having a backup feature match because that game was extremely quick moving forward there. Julian's just having a little bit of trouble with his camera at the minute. So we'll just jump straight across that backup feature match if we can, producer, where we're going to have, is it Prowess versus Domain Zoo. This is the green version of the Domain Zoo. Playing all the green creatures against the blue version of the slick shot decks that we've seen floating around, not playing time growths, trying to use EIs and preordains going forward. I actually played this deck last night on at my FNM moving forward. So we're going to have, from the start, a little bit of time shifted magic here. Let's get in. Who's going to be on the play? Didn't get a good look at who won the actual dice roll there, but it can be pretty key in these matchups. I think Domain Zoo, if it can go Splinter Twin, as in Leyline the Guildpact plus the Draco, is going to be pretty good moving forward. But on the other side, these Is It Paris decks are super low to the ground, super explosive. A lot of damage can happen real early. So it might just come down to who's on the play for this game, which we're going to find out momentarily. Julian's just sorting out his camera, remember, chat, so you're going to listen to my voice. But while they're drawing the opening hands, let's remind you what's happening today. We've got 9 rounds of Modern, and we're currently in round number 4. And then after those 9 rounds, well, there's a top 8 to go as well. So lots of Modern action to happen here today on this stream. So if you haven't hit that follow button, make sure you hit that follow button. And then tomorrow, we're coming back with more Magic, and that's a team event. Whole new set of casters, a whole new set of I think there was 90 teams registered for tomorrow already. So a lot of Magic. I think that is standard, Modern, and Pioneer tomorrow for everybody that wants to tune in and spend their Sunday with us. Back to the matchup. Mason on the draw, but does start off with Leyline in play. So if we can get that Draco on turn 2, could be pretty huge, because life-linking vigilance creatures are very good in a aggro matchup. Who would have thought? On the other side, for Theo, we're starting off with a Dragon Race Channeler into a Bauble, and only one card type off being able to make that a 3/3 flyer. And on the other side, the powerful, used to be banned Wild Nakato. One of the big advantages, of course, of the Leyline of the Guildpact, telling it all our lands will tap for all mana, means that we don't have to use our fetches, we don't have to use our shocks. We can keep that life total nice and high, which is what we're going to need against these Dragon Range Chandler decks moving forward. Now, how can we add to the battlefield? Can we plot maybe a slingshot, or just add a Taylor Swift spear to the battlefield? Lightning bolt with a lightning bolt. Okay, this is pretty good. Can we hit a third type in the graveyard? We're looking for creature and enchantment, and we can't, so it's just going to be a swing for 3 points of damage, dropping Mason down to 17.
Whoa, what did I drop into here? Domain Zoo. That's actually what I wanted to see, man. I'm so happy to see this on screen.
I think one, welcome back. 2, Theo's going to be real happy that it's a 5/5 on the other side of the battlefield and not a Draco. That could have just been lights out straight away. Yes, Heliod won our first main feature match in the hands of Mason yet again. Lots of Masons in the feature match this area. Just winning off Collective Company into Heliod, into feeders. GG, win the game. So hopefully we can bring you maybe even quicker Magic here. We're not sure. We'll find out momentarily. Do we have a third land drop here for Theo? We're going to need it to deploy that Dragon Race Channel if needs be. But other than that, you haven't really missed much. A bit of setting up between both players.
Yeah.
And Domain is now on, I think.
I'm so happy to just like see Theo playing Is It Prowess, because that's pretty much what he also plays in Legacy every time I see him play. Like whether it's on Magic Online or in the Energy series, like Theo Young always just like going for these kinds of like tempo decks. On the other side, like Domain Zoo is back. Is it really the Leyline that basically brought it back? Because like Zoo goes back like all the way to like the last millennium, even as a deck in not only Legacy, like in Magic as a whole. Like it's one of the most traditional decks we have there, and now it's back.
Well, in Europe, like there always tends to be some sort of Zoo deck doing well in the past before Leyline was printed. Then Leyline got printed and it just got supercharged. Like being able to give that plus Draco, which means, everything's now got Vigilance and Lifelink, First Strike and Trample and Hexproof. That's huge moving forward. Obviously, one of the big hitters is which we see a couple of cards in hand now, Tribal Flames, being able to do 5 points of damage. Realistically, that double Tribal Flames in hand plus one more hit from this Kavu is lethal. Seeing how we want to go about deploying moving forward here, though, because there is a lot of damage on the other side.
Just like 5 to the face. Here we go. Take it. Faster turn back. This is good, honest magic. You know, that deck in many ways reminds me of the countercat deck of old, like that from like 2011. That won the Pro Tour,
I
I want
think
to say.
I think we're dead. I think this is lethal. So that's
No.
8 points, 9 points, 10, 11 points, 12 points, 13, 14 points, plus the lightning bolt in hand is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 points. Yeah, we're going to game 2.
This is what I do. Like I have this tendency to completely underestimate prowess, but you just run the numbers, and it looks like we're straight up dead from this one attack almost.
You can't leave that many creatures on the battlefield. For these prowess decks, they're not small and weedy. They grow huge, especially if they can untap with them. We saw it there. So unfortunately for Mason, was not able to find that Draco. Finds a Draco, completely different game, but wasn't able to get there. Maybe didn't know what they were against. Maybe in game 2, we'll see Mulligan a little bit harder to try and find Draco plus Leyline. But then how many times are you willing to go down to? How many cards are you willing to deploy? Because you need both of those 2 plus 2 lands. So you do need things, going your way. But looking at these sideboards, what do we like bringing in? What we're looking at Mason's list now.
Legions, then maybe. I guess that's the one thing that jumps out to me.
Yeah, Legion is the thing. Same. I think that's what I'll be bringing in. Pulling it through. How much emphasis do we want to put on pick your poison and ley lines? Ley lines are great at getting lava debts out the graveyard, keeping the Dragoness challenge the 1/1s. Other than that, don't do too much. So I'm not super stoked about that. And on pick your poisons, can hit a slick shot, but realistically, the turn slick shot comes down, it's already done the damage. It can hit the Dragoness channelers. Is that good enough? Because otherwise you just feel really bad if it's sat in your hand doing nothing. Flusterstorm, maybe. There's a lot of spells on the other side of the battlefield. Flusterstorm is probably going to be able to snag one of them, maybe snag an optimal lightning bolt. But if they've got a bunch of creatures on the battlefield that have all gained prowess triggers, just countering that one spell, the damage has already been done. All those prowess triggers are happening either way if the spell resolves or not. So I think we're just relying on our main deck, hoping we can get the Leyline Draco combo completed. Back that up with the lightning bolts as a bit of early interaction to kill some of these creatures. As you see, we move across to Theo's deck here. We saw the green version last time that was in the hands of the Mengu's kind of popularized, doing quite well in some of the challenges online. This is the other version. This is the blue version. In my eyes, the more traditional version that a lot of players go towards, because you can turn and burn through your deck a lot more with EIs, with preordains, that backing them up. Every single spell we cast, it's not doing damage, but while I've got creatures that are prowess on the battlefield, it is doing damage, but it lets me turn and burn through my deck a little bit more moving forward.
So looking at the sideboard right now, there's not too much really, right? That you want to bring in. I mean,
pick your poisons and Flame of the North. I think that's the cards I'd be leaning towards. Flame of the North does 5 damage, which lines up very well against Cavus and Dracos. Pick your poison lines up well against Dracos and Leyline the Gilpax. So be interested to see how Theo goes about it. Of course, on the draw now, so it is going to be slightly different. We do see Mason starting off with that Leyline. So if turn 2 we can follow it up with a Draco, could be huge.
Taking out the Dragonlance Channel that Theo deployed, and now we're going to see, is this going to be, no, it's not even going to be the second land. Like, we got a land of basically every basic land type, but no actual way to use it. Passing back to Theo, who's probably going to be really relieved, and fetching here, probably to get some kind of broken 2 drop down. Ideally, even more like some kind of like, I don't know. The dream for me with these kinds of decks is like I want to get 2 Swift Spears out there, and then from everything I've seen, the deck can actually kill on the very next turn. As far as Thoughtscar Mages, that's the next best thing, I guess.
They're still pretty good. We're gonna see Leon's binding in a turn. I was having a little look see if there's any Surveil lands in this deck for Mason. There isn't, so we couldn't go find them. But here is the Cavu off that second land that we found. Of course, a 5/5 now, super powerful.
The Cavu is great, right? Even just like taking out the. Actually, I wonder. Do you very aggressively take out the graveyard here, or do you just like, I don't know, just loot? I'm trying to see whether there's even like any relevant graveyard interactions.
It completely depends what's in my hand. If I need to find action, I'm looting. If not, I'll chip away at the graveyard. This attack, that's basically we're saying, look, I've got a lightning bolt in hand. Do you want to block? Because with the soul scars on the battlefield, that means it's going to be the damage is dealt in -1/-1 counters, which would make the Cavu a 3/3, a 2/2. And I love that. I almost hope the field doesn't have lightning bolt and the bluff works. That would be so sick if that was the case.
You know, should he win, we're actually going to ask him that.
Oh yeah.
That's going to
This
be
is
the
time shifted though, so they probably won't. They're probably going to have
okay.
having some food now. Second Kavu for the turn.
Is this the new Tarmogoyf 2-mana 5/5s?
Oh, it's better than a time ago. This thing, the Kavus are so cool. Very bad against Dress Down though. That must be noted. That Dress Down would obviously kill it because
Straight up kills it. Yeah. No, Theo has been playing pretty fast, but now this is the first time he's actually taking a stop to evaluate the situation. I feel like
it's like basically the design. Do we want a lightning bolt in my upkeep to manipulate the top of my deck to see what I draw? I think we're in the draw step. We haven't drawn for turn yet, and I quite like this.
Looks it's Lava Dart.
Oh, so we did bluff last turn. Oh well, technically we bluffed. We could have double Lava Darted, but it wasn't a lightning bolt. So yeah, I love this. I love the bluff. I love the dart right now. It looks like it's going face as well, and we like the card on top. That is scary for Mason.
Which card would you keep on top here? Like probably most removal spells, and then I'm not even sure if you keep EI on top.
I don't. Unholy Heat. We've got land, we've got creature, we've got instant. So this would only be 2 damage currently. Still only 2 damage unless we use this Lava Dart. So this is
back. So it's actually -1/-1 counters, right?
It will be the damage will be down at -1/-1 count is correct. So this is the third prize trigger. So they're now 4 5s on the battlefield. Dragon's Channel is still just a 1/1.
Probably not what you needed for the Unholy Heat again, Delirium, but still good enough to keep it on top.
Well, we're going to see a lot of damage coming in here. As I say, these are 4 5s, so we can get in there with all of them. The problem for Theo is if we can't kill this turn, blocking is not ideal because the first strike and trample from that ley line, and we know the last card in hand is a Tribal Flames. So this is 12 damage. We could just take this. If we take this, it's currently a 3/3, and we did take it. We untapped, rip lightning bolt. We're going to a game 3.
Still making sure, checking. But yeah, I think you
stop delirium is what it is. All we need is a point of damage to come across, and turns out it's really good against first strike trampling creatures.
Wait,
no, there's no Draco. There's no Draco.
Yeah, you actually for a moment you had me like.
I'm so excited about Draco. They always have it. Okay, we chump the 5/5. We take the 3 damage, but there's 8 damage in hand, so it's still game either way. But yeah, we just need that 1 point. That no block was huge. That no block, taking it all, tapping the top of our deck. I think it had to be lightning bolt there, right?
Probably exactly lightning bolt, like sitting on 3 mana, right? Tribal Flames plus lightning bolt.
So they're at 9 life. 3 damage comes across 6. So it had to be a point of damage from somewhere. Maybe Draco does some sort of crazy math there with life gaining with an 8 life game swing, 8. That's either way. I got excited. There was no Draco, but we got lucky. We ripped the lightning bolt. We get to go to a game 3, which means we get more magic for all you beautiful people at home.
Dude, I want to say playing Modern is so cutthroat. Like these decisions are on the razor's edge. Like you have to make if you even struggle a little bit, that could be the game over. And I feel drawn to those formats, but I only feel drawn to those formats once I'm really into it, right? You know what I mean? Like I want to leverage that those tiny little advantages you can get out of the right decision making, and not blocking there and being like, okay, I can take this. I love that.
Well, it's face up. The Lava Dart was going out of the graveyard. There's no cards in hand, but tapping the top of your deck and hoping and it pays off. I think the meta, that's what we're talking about. The meta at the minute is cutthroat. It is so aggressive. We don't really go past turn 4 and 5 at the minute. It's so just turn everything sideways and hope for the best. And it's kind of pushing out some of the control decks, some of the combo decks, and we're going under it. Does that mean the meta is going to start shifting towards more mid-range decks to deal with that? Or are these decks just too queued up and can play the mid-range game as well with the special iteration and preordains? It's what I love about Magic. It's what I love about Modern. The card pool's so big, it will just keep adapting over time, and it doesn't adapt as quick as online Magic does because Modern, not everybody can own all the cards, so it is kind of what you got, how you're going to deal with the meta with the deck that you've got moving forward to it. But we've got both these players going into game 3, so let's see if we can get that to you ASAP.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, Thought Scar Mage coming out on the very first turn. Passing to Mason, who is trying to figure out, this time no ley line, so we actually have to make decisions on our fetches here. We're gonna get a try home at end of... Oh yeah, Mason was on the draw. Okay, so he does it on the main phase. Okay, passes back to Theo, who will... We will see, either get another couple of creatures down. Like, Theo loves these 1-mana creatures, not gonna lie. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like 2 more Swifts. No, probably not a Swift Spear, but we'll see in a moment.
This is what it says, no ley line, which means that, like, no Splinter Twin combo. This is what Theo wants to see. Doesn't want to see the any like crazy life gain shenanigans, first striking and stuff on the other side of the battlefield. Being able to just play out our Slick Shot with the Bauble trigger means that's a good 5 damage coming across.
Casual attack for 5 on the second turn as you do it once your opponent hasn't even had a turn 1 play. Mason has a Wildner Kettle he can get down, which should be a 3/3. He's also got a Sphere. I'm not too sure whether that's going to help us.
I think we got Leyland's Binding held up, right? This is scary. So much damage so quickly.
I guess the Leyland's Binding must go after the Slingshot, just because that's the biggest source of damage, but... that having all this like spot removal spells, that doesn't feel wait, we're just taking it. Oh, okay, so he's daring Theo to have some kind of spell, and Theo's like, just my Lava Dart for now, and Mason pulls the trigger. He could tempt Theo to, flashback the Lava Dart to potentially get him for more damage, but
yeah, you don't want to be taking 7 points of damage there. Of course, 1 from the Lava Dart going to face it, plus 7 from Prowess. So this thing, it's just going to be 5 damage for the turn, but that's enough. Theo could just do this chip damage, use Mason's resources, not able to deploy multiple spells in one turn, missing land drops here. This is the sort of game that these Izzet Prowess decks are preying upon. Not letting you stumble in any matchup in Modern currently is huge, because let's be honest, we've all got greedy in recent times. We all want to play 5 colors. We want to play all the best cards in those colors. We want a little bit of setup. These Prowess decks are saying no to that. They're going to try and kill you with a grip for the cards in your hand by the time you pick them all up. And Theo, no exception.
This is the deck I'd be more scared to play against. Like, and Theo is also so methodical, right? I always feel like when we see these guys on stream, he's so hard to read. And he just runs out, main phase Lightning Bolt, hit you for 3.
Like, worst case scenario, it's still 3 damage to the face. If if you've got 2 removal spells, great. Lava Dart flashback as well.
I mean, he's already got lethal there.
Throw that there. Yeah, lethal.
Oh.
That was quick. That was 2 really quick games in our feature match area.
Mason played 2 removal spells on the first 2 turns and still lost 2 damage. What is this deck, man? Is it Prowess? Whoa.
We
not gonna lie.
Just so people are aware that that's you're not still. That's not your face. You're not being able to talk.
Oh, you gave it away.
Well, maybe you are, but that is your pitch. Obviously, your camera's playing up a little bit here, but that's fine. That means that we can put some slides on the screen that we can talk about what's coming up here at the NRG series. What we got going on. Obviously, we are currently in season 2. So talk us through this, Julian.
So, as you know, our seasons are split in 2. So the first half of the season is gonna end in St. Louis very soon, and if you still make it into the top spot, you can qualify for a championship. But from there, we got more events coming up. We got July, Chicagoland. We're gonna play Showdown Modern once again, 10K. We got Legacy. So my format of choice, if you wanna play that, definitely make it to Chicagoland in July. Then August, Madison, once again Modern, and this time Team Trios. We're still gonna figure out the formats for that. It's gonna be a double Showdown weekend. So we're gonna get a 10K on Saturday and on Sunday. If you wanna pick one of the events to play there, go there. That's the one. We got Louisville in Kentucky. We, in September, once again, a Modern Showdown running on Saturday and a standard trial on Sunday. And then last chance of the year to qualify for the championship is going to be in Indianapolis. Once again, this city, Showdown in Modern and Pioneer on a 5K Showdown on Sunday. So pick your event, and maybe I want to go very badly to one in August. Not going to lie. Maybe we're going to see you there.
Yeah, that'd be the one that I'd be aiming towards. Playing Modern personally my favorite format. Then follow up playing with my mates in a team show. That is my favorite format, playing any format, whatever it is, as long as I'm with a couple of my friends, because then they can carry me, because I need that now in my the later stages of my Magic career. I need to be carried the best I can. But you're saying that this all qualifies for the the end of year event, and there's still some players that are already qualified now. They got it done nice and early. Maybe we can try and get our producer, test them on the fly if they can get that slide up of who's already qualified, and we will be seeing at the end of the year, of course, playing in the championships. Talk me through these 4 players.
Yeah, so first of all, of course, our 2023 champion, Stephen Dykman, already qualified at the beginning of the year. And then we got Matthew Hoey, Sean Gallagher, and most recently, Dominic Harvey winning the Energy Minneapolis Modern event play. I think he won basically both events. He won Saturday and Sunday, Legacy and Modern. So Dom is completely unstoppable. And if you make it to a championship, you're going to face at least Matthew and Sean as well. But there's still so many seats empty. Like, we still got 20 seats to give away. You can win one of these events. You can win one of our at-large events. You can also win be the points leader for the first or the second season. First season gonna come to an end very soon in St. Louis in June, but the second season, still everything's up for grabs. So make your way all the way to the championship, and we'll see you maybe in, I believe it's gonna be January 2025 for a prize pool of 35,000 American dollars in a prize pool.
So much to play for. I love that there's like a goal for the end of the year, and it rewards you for keep turning up, keep grinding, keep playing. Yes, sometimes you don't get the results, sometimes it doesn't go the way, but every single match counts. Getting every single one of those points for the leaderboard. By the time we finish this weekend, we're not only going to have today's champion is going to also be on this list, but tomorrow in the team event, the team that wins is going to add 3 more players. So 4 more slots are going to get eaten up just by the time that Monday comes around this week. It's going to be really, really cool seeing moving forward. I need to give a shout out to Dom Harvey. Dom Harvey, as much as he says Canadian these days, he's from my neck of the woods. Me and Dom used to play all the time at all the local events. We used to live quite close to each other. And, even back then, he was playing all these crazy big mana decks and combo decks going forward. So it's really cool to see him, really taking Magic by the horns these days. I was lucky enough to be able to tell him at the Pro Tour that he top 8'd in Barcelona. I was the person that was able to tell him that he top 8'd, because the breakers had to go crazy for him to be able to get in. It looked like he was coming 9th place. The draw happened, and I was able to go to him and congratulations. He didn't believe me, thought I was having him on a joke. I was like, no, that was a draw. He's like, no, well, don't mess with me. Did they honestly draw? I was like, yeah, they did. And then obviously everyone starts congratulating and moving forward. So it's really cool to see someone that I've been friends with for years going through the ranks and now being actually all-star in Magic. And as you said, the last NRG back-to-back wins. That's not a fluke. That's not something that just happens. That is pure skill. Learn the deck and turn up to the meta. And we know how good he is with Titan, but then also being able to do it in a second format, a Legacy. Huge hats off to him. And also commiserations to anybody that's got to play him in the end of the championships, because he is an absolute killer going forward. And that is what we're going to see. Yeah.
As we get told, there's time in the round right now. So very shortly, we're going to go to a break. By the way, Will, I absolutely love your passion for Magic.
Oh, dude, I
think this is completely unmatched. Like, especially for paper Magic, and like just the whole thing around hanging out with your friends. And really mentioned, right? If you play a team event, it's not going to be one of those weird things where like one person gets qualified and they have to figure out which one. No, all 3 of your teammates get qualified. So if you want to make it to one of those, hit us up in August for another team event, or tomorrow. Like, I don't know when's the next flight gonna be to probably Chicago for this one, or Indianapolis. And
are we going? Is that what you're saying? We're going. Flight tonight. Red line tonight. Me, you play tomorrow. Sign up. We'll find a third, and then we can win. And then we can go to the end of the year.
I even have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. We can make it work, But there's gonna be a lot of killers, like really good people playing tomorrow. We'll figure it out from there. Everybody, if you are gonna play tomorrow, let us know in chat. And until then, we're gonna go on a very short break. But yeah, let us know if you're gonna hit Indianapolis tomorrow. See you in a couple of minutes.